Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving deep into the culture of India. Now, this is a place where ancient traditions and super modern innovations are constantly weaving this single vibrant story. We're going to look at everything from classical dance to, census data, just to try and get a handle on the expressions that define a nation of over 1 billion people. So, let's just start with a big question, right? How do you even begin to understand a country that's honestly more like a continent? It's a huge thing to wrap your head around. But you know what? Sometimes the best place to start is with a single powerful number. And wow, what a number it is. We're talking 1.21 billion people according to the 2011 census. Just think about that for a second. That is not just a statistic, right? It's over 1 billion individual stories, 1 billion different traditions, and 1 billion unique perspectives all in one place. Okay, so to make sense of all this, we've broken it down into 4 parts. First, we'll look at the soul of India, its incredible expressive arts. Then we'll tune into its heartbeat with its sonic traditions. After that, we'll get to know the people behind the numbers. And finally, we'll jump into the celebrations that bring it all to life. All right, first up, the expressive arts. You see, in India, dance is so much more than just movement. It's one of the oldest, and I mean oldest, and most powerful ways of telling a story. So you have this official body, the Sangeet Natak Academy, and they recognize 8 classical dance forms. And get this, many of them trace their roots back thousands of years to this incredible text called the Natya Shastra. Think of it like an ancient guide to performance. And it lays out these 2 core natures of dance, Lasya, which is all about the gentle, graceful, more feminine energy, and Tandava, which is the powerful, forceful, masculine side. Let's kick things off with a really iconic one, Bharatnatyam. This one comes from the temples of Tamil Nadu, and it's often called the Dance of Fire. It's this incredibly powerful, super precise solo performance. So as we said, it's from Tamil Nadu, and it's usually a solo performance. The term for that is Ekaharya. It has this really deep history with the temple dancers, the Devadasis. But then, in the 20th century, it had this amazing revival, thanks to key figures like Rukmini Devi Erndal. She was absolutely crucial in bringing it to the world stage. Okay, so we've seen the solo fire of Bharatnatyam. Now let's shift gears to the grand, epic drama of Kathakali. This comes from Kerala, and it's literally known as a story play. Its whole purpose is to bring these massive, ancient myths to life right there on the stage. And this is where the storytelling gets just incredibly visual. It's traditionally performed by men, and they act out these huge epics. But the really wild part? The makeup. It's called Vesham, and it's basically a complex code. You know who the character is before they even move a muscle. For instance, green or pacha is for the noble heroes. But then you have this kati or knife pattern for the arrogant, evil characters. It's amazing. All right, so we've seen the stories, now let's hear them. We're shifting from the visual narrative of dance to the auditory soul of the nation, its sonic arts. Let's really listen to the instruments that create that iconic Indian soundscape. You know, what's really cool is how Indian instruments are classified. It's all based on how they make sound. Super logical. You've got Tantu Vadya, those are your stringed instruments, like the sitar. Then Susher Vadya, which are wind instruments, like the Shanai. Avanada Vadya covers percussion, like the famous tabla. And finally, Gana Vadya, those are solid instruments you strike, like a clay pot called the gadam. It's just a really neat system. So let's zoom in on one of those stringed instruments, one that basically became the voice of India for so much of the world, the sitar. And honestly, its global fame really comes down to the genius and vision of one incredible man. Pandit Ravi Shankar, an absolute legend. He was a maestro from the Mayar Gharana, which is kind of like a school or a lineage of musical heritage. But he was so much more than just a musician, he was a true cultural ambassador. I mean, back in 1968, his album West Meets East did something huge. It won a Grammy. He was the first Indian to ever receive one, and he literally bridged the musical gap between continents. And he didn't stop at one. In total, he won 5 Grammy Awards. That is still the most for any Indian musician, even today. It's just a staggering achievement that really shows you the kind of global impact he had. Now, this incredible artistic legacy, it was created by and for the people of India, right? So to really understand the culture, we have to understand the people themselves. So let's switch gears a bit and look at the census data. to see the billion-plus stories that make up the India of today. First off, let's just look at where people live. The numbers are pretty striking. Almost 70% of India's population lives in rural areas. This isn't just a small detail. That huge rural majority is absolutely fundamental to understanding the country's social and economic DNA. So, where is this massive population concentrated? Well, the scale is just mind-boggling. Take the state of Uttar Pradesh. Just that one state has a population so big, it would be one of the largest countries in the world if it were on its own. And right behind it, you have Maharashtra and Bihar. But population size doesn't tell you the whole story, not by a long shot. India is also a place of incredible diversity when it comes to development. Just look at the literacy rates. It's like a tale of two different states. Down south in Kerala, you have a literacy rate of 94%. Amazing. But then in Bihar, in the east, it's at 61.8%. That huge gap really shows you the different challenges and successes happening all across the nation. Okay, so let's try to bring all these threads together now. We have the art, the music, the people, the data. So how does this huge, diverse population express all its joy, its faith, its heritage? Well, they do it through festivals. They are the absolute rhythms of life. So, for our last section, we're going to go on a quick whirlwind tour of some of India's festivals. Let's start up north in Punjab. The celebrations there are so vibrant. You've got the Harvest Festival of Baisakhi, and then there's Hola Mahalla, which is this amazing showcase of martial arts. Now let's head all the way down south to Kerala, and you can feel the whole rhythm change. Down there, you'll find Onam, another massive harvest festival, and the absolutely spectacular Thrissur, which is famous for its incredible lines of decorated elephants. Okay, now let's jump over to the northeast. In Assam, the entire year kind of revolves around Bihu. It's actually a series of 3 different festivals, and each one marks a different agricultural season. It's all about celebrating the cycles of nature. And for our last stop, we land in the western desert state of Rajasthan. This is where the landscape just comes alive with these unbelievable sights, like the Pushkar Camel Fair, which is one of the largest camel fairs in the entire world. So, after all that, from the classical arts to census data, from global icons to tiny local festivals, it makes you wonder, right? In a land of 1,000 dancers and 100 festivals, what is the single story that India tells? Well, maybe, just maybe, it's that true unity isn't about everyone being the same. Maybe it's about celebrating every single difference together.